Hi, my name is Laura, and this is my new workshop. The title of this video is The Perfect Workshop. But the question is, what makes a workshop perfect? And I think the first step towards a perfect workshop is knowing and understanding how you actually like to work. And this place fits my needs perfectly. And here's why. My workshop is my castle. It is super important to me to be surrounded by visually interesting and inspiring things. And this workshop has more than enough space for all the weird stuff that I collected over the years. And the cool thing is, I can see it all at once because it's just one big room. And the 3 stories actually make it kinda easy to organize your stuff. Even though this is visually a little bit challenging, like you see it all at once, it is a bit overwhelming. Still, there is like a system behind it. In the bottom, I have all my tools. And the next story is materials that I use quite often. Lamps, lights, more tools that I don't use that much. And then the upper story is just basically stuff that I very rarely use or stuff that I want to have visually on a very high level. The second reason why having all this space and being surrounded by all this stuff is super important for my workflow is that I actually never plan anything. I like to have an idea and then just jump right into the build without ordering any materials, without going to the store, without sketching. I just like to get to it right away as fast as I can. And having all this stuff just makes improvising so much easier. So it's not only that looking at the material really inspires me, it also provides me with most of the materials that I need to build whatever I want to build. I have wood, I have electronic components, I have aluminum, I have steel. I don't know, I have lamps, I have all the fixtures, I have the screws, I have most of the material that I would ever need to build whatever it is that I want to build. Just the idea of starting the project with spending money, going online, ordering something, oh it's not available, oh I have to wait for another day, that really takes all the drive out of me, so I try to avoid that at all costs. And storing stuff and surrounding myself with material, basically with potential, is a really good method for me. So the third reason why I like to have so much space so that I can keep all this stuff around is that I realized that having these visually interesting objects and reusing them for my projects influences the way that my work looks. So imagine if I only work with brand new materials, my projects would look brand new because that's what they are. Since I'm recycling and since I'm repurposing some of the stuff that I have here, some of the stuff that I collected and that I found interesting to look at to begin with, they will influence the way my work comes out. And that's something that I really like. Basically it's like curating your workshop is the first step to designing your objects. And I really like that thought. I spent a couple weeks in this shop, but I just really moved in yesterday, so I'm very fresh to this space, but there are already a couple things that I don't want to go without anymore. So here's a list. First thing that I love about this shop is the crane. The crane is so much fun, but the big one is a bit scary. It also has a smaller crane that I use much more than the big one. Second thing, you can drive in here. Like you can take your car in here, you can take your bikes in here, your moped, whatever, you can drive into the shop. It is so cool. I have room for my military cabin, and this is going to be a big future project, so I don't want to talk about it too much. But just having this thing in the background makes me so happy. I have a hammock, and so does Smudo. But what makes me happy the most is probably spending time at night. The shop looks amazing at night. As I said, I had a couple of shops in the last 10 years since I started making stuff. So all the shops that I had, there were always advantages and disadvantages about them. And that's the thing about workshops. I was happy in every workshop that I had because that's the place where you can create, where you can relax. It's almost like, it's very healing for me to be in my shop. And that's why, I called this video the perfect shop, and this is, now I say this is the happiest I've ever been in a new shop, but I said that in every other shop before. The thing is never about the real estate, it's about your mindset. So long story short, what I'm trying to say is the perfect shop is the shop that is available to you. So to all of you guys that have a workshop, show your shop a little bit of love, because what would our work look like if we didn't have workshops? And for those of you who don't have workshops and you want one, get out there, ask people around. I got my first workshop because a friend of mine was willing to share it with me for free. Do it. Having a workshop is life-changing. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. That is it for me. This week's video is brought to you by Skillshare. Skillshare is the leading community for creators with over 19,000 classes in videography, productivity, design, photography, and much, much more. If you want to take your passion and turn it into a full-time job, start your own business, or simply improve your skills, Skillshare has all the tools you need to meet your goals. The premium membership with Skillshare usually starts at $10 a month. But if you're one of the first 399 people who clicks the link in the description, you can get 2 months of Skillshare for absolutely free. These spots usually go quite fast, so be quick and make sure you get your spot. I talked about it before. I want to get better at using the computer to make my life easier, to make my work better. And one of the things I want to improve on, or getting started with really, is using After Effects. One class I'm taking right now is called Beginner's Guide to Animating Custom GIFs by Jake Bartlett.
Hey, I'm Jake Bartlett, and I'm going to teach you how to animate your own custom GIFs. In this course, you'll learn everything you need to know to get up and running in After Effects, even if you've never opened the software before.
Sounds good, right? So I want to thank Skillshare for supporting my work. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next week with a new video. Bye.